Hey y'all, this is Mary Payne.
And this is Kimberly.
And this is Katie.
And we want to tell you about a very special moment. It's coming up soon.
A Date with Dateline, that's us, and Pink Shade, that's her, are teaming up for a Shady Datey, that rhymes, very clever, holiday special on December 13th. The three of us are going to recap a Hallmark Channel newish Christmas movie. It's called Mystery on Mistletoe Lane on Moment. It's a moment.
It's a moment, guys. We're going to recap the episode and we're going to have a fun trivia game for prizes. So I'm going to submit some trivia questions. These gals are going to submit some trivia questions. We're going to do a secret Santa exchange, and then we're going to give away the gifts. It's just prizes and giveaways and trivia. And if you aren't sure where to watch the actual movie, the link is attached in the show notes, as they say in the biz. Yeah.
And if prizes and giveaways were not enough for all of you, there are also special guests that might show up, maybe. So how do you watch this live event, Kimber? Take us through it.
Tickets go on sale November 27th at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I think 9, 10, 11, 12. That match is mathing. The link to purchase will be included in the show notes. You just click the link, get your tickets. Tickets are $15 now or $17 the day of the show. $17 is more than $15, so it's better to buy them early.
That's right. But if you're a member of Patreon or Supercast for either podcast or both, or, whatever, you'll get a discount code. So just watch your email inbox for that.
And remember, the actual event, the moment itself, is December 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific. And it's going to be crazy, festive, fun. Kimberly, are you wearing a costume? Mary Payne, are you wearing a costume?
Yes. I'm
not wearing a costume.
For the moment.
I'm looking up costumes right now.
Great.
I'm going to get festive. I've got a special wine glass that I'm going to break out. I've got my gingerbread earrings, and I've got a special shirt I'm going to wear. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Donner, Dancer, Blitzen. Nailed it. All right, let's go.
That's why we pay you the big bucks. So click the link below or above or wherever you're looking. Just click that link and join us on December 13th for a Shady, Datey, Hollywood or Holiday Spectacular.
Hollywood Holiday Spectacular.
That's right.
Holiday.
There's going to be Hollywood actors appearing.
Yeah.
Stars.
Right.
All the stars.
All the stars. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. See you there.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Pink Shade. It is Maximum Security Monday. What are we supposed to remember to say?
Mugshot Monday.
Yes. Thank you for the monkey who reminded me that was a good one. Mugshot Monday. We got it. Yes.
We should take mugshot pictures of ourselves.
Oh, that's a great idea, Keisha.
I think we should do that. I think that would be pretty freaking funny.
That's hilarious. Well, I've got some makeup on today. Maybe I should do it. I got to smear something on my face just a little.
Oh, yeah. You got to be crying. Yeah. That would be funny.
For sure, you have to be crying. Yeah. You look real sad, be looking down with a little smear.
Where's my one phone call? Where's my one phone call?
Oh, my God. So funny. Well, this is going to be a two-parter, you guys. So if you're listening and you're like, hey, this is just part one, I don't understand. You guys, the part two is going to come out at the same time. So just go to the next one and it'll be there. But this was so long because they just didn't mush it all. If they would have mushed it all together, but they didn't. They made it two separate episodes.
Which they normally don't do that. They just make it one long episode.
Yeah, nor do they ever usually have the episode number right. But in this one, they finally fixed it.
They did. I noticed. I was like, oh, because I had to DVR it. And I was like, hey, they actually numbered it right. Go, Matt Sharp. Go.
I know.
He's getting it.
I bet, though, when we start Life After Lockup, it'll be something whack. It'll be like season 412. Yeah, it'll be something crazy. Yeah. Yes, but we won't know that until next. We'll know that next week.
Next Friday. Yeah. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It'll be Felon Friday. So guys, let's get into it. So we got Love After Lockup, season 5, episode 11, The Reckoning.
Okay.
That sounds
All right.
ominous, doesn't it? Yeah.
Have you met some of these people?
It's true.
Do you know their lives?
It's true.
I think that's pretty appropriate.
You notice that since we all found out about Red's mom, we hadn't seen her anymore. She's been edited right out. Mm-hmm.
Yes, she has. Well, we saw one episode with her in it after it came out.
Oh, right. Because they already had that in the can. But since then, now he's just sitting outside. They're taking.
Yeah.
If he went inside, they didn't show it.
There's no conversations with Mom or Destiny or anything like that. So
Destiny and her cute little nose ring that goes right across the middle of the nose that I didn't know about, but now I do.
Nose ring. I'm going to call it a hula hoop nose ring. It just goes all the way around.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Okay.
No.
Ooh, what have you got? What if you got bad sinuses like I do?
Like me. And I can never get a nose ring. It would be dirty and snotty and boogery all the time. I just couldn't do it. It'd be disgusting. Yeah.
I think they're cute, but I can't do it. So I also don't want to draw any attention to my nose. It's not my best feature.
Mine is not either.
No.
It's really not. Yeah.
All right. Season 5, episode 11, The Reckoning. So again, I'm going to say what I've got my note here. Don't forget 2 parts. The second part's also out. But you know what, Keisha? I forgot to ask you. Did anybody have any fistfights on Thanksgiving? Or did your dogs misbehave?
They were all well behaved, and so was the cat. The cat was the miracle. Yeah, because usually when it's more than just the people that live in this house, he says, fuck all of you. I'm going to a dark corner of the house. Call me when everyone is gone. Which he did that at first, and then he kind of came out, looked at people, let a few people touch him. It was very, very weird. Sushi was on his best behavior. Sir, can I get you another eggnog? He knew this is an opportunity for food. Marvel was pretty good. The only ones Buck Wild was the littlest niece. I mean, she tried to redecorate my tree. She put a pair of sunglasses on it. Everyone was on their best behavior.
I told my husband today what you said about your dogs not liking to play with toys. And one dog has one toy and that's it. And we got nothing but baskets of toys all over this house.
No.
And he says, well, what do her dogs do? I go, I guess they just sit around and look at people. I don't know what they do if they don't play with toys.
They sit around, follow me and see what I'm up to, snuggle and get rubbed on. But no, they're not toy dogs, period, point blank. And we have so many toys that we've bought over, but Sushi looks at them like they're shit on a stick. Like, I'm above that. I'm a toy poodle. Do you not know my breed? I'm not going to play with toys. Are you kidding me? And Marvel is just one toy. That's it. Period, point blank. Don't bring another one. It's just that one toy. That's it.
Huh. Well, my dogs do have their favorites, but they, because Ginger has her Lammy. Sometimes she gets Lammy and then sits with Lammy and then cries about it. Just loves Lammy so much.
Because she loves Lammy so much.
Yeah.
You don't know how much I love you. I just love you. I love you.
It's crazy.
Like how Brittney tells Kira, I love you. I love you,
baby. Well, I just wanted to know because this is our first episode back since Thanksgiving, and I just wanted to make sure because I do enjoy a good Thanksgiving drama. I do enjoy somebody getting in a fight, but it sounds like everybody was well behaved, including the animals at your house.
Which is normally not the case with us. I mean, we were all speaking to each other. There was no fight before. I don't know.
Good.
I don't know.
All right. Well, and this was a bust. I shouldn't have even asked you. You didn't have any good, juicy stories for me.
I didn't. None. We're just on baby watch. There's a baby coming any day now. That's it.
Is this your brother's baby? Your brother's having a baby?
This is my brother's. I only have 2 brothers. They're younger. And this is the baby brother. And this is his second baby. And it's a boy. We finally are getting a boy.
What will you do with that penis? You don't even know.
I'd rather clean a penis diaper than a vagina diaper. Any day.
Oh, would you?
Absolutely.
They're both pretty bad. They both involve a lot of folds and areas you got to get.
I think the boy is a lot easier than the girl.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Everybody let us know what you think. And let's
right.
Conversation. Oh, Lord. All right. So let's start with Joy, where we were talking about Joy and Red. So Red is waiting. He's waiting for her to come back. And the producer says, so you gonna tell her about Julie? And he goes, no, of course not. Now's not the time now that she left. She left and she didn't even know what he did, you know?
Exactly. He's just lucky he got away without getting a vampire bite from that girl because she looked like she was auditioning to be a Cullen on Twilight.
She was a lighter shade of pale, for sure.
It was
For
almost
sure.
gray. Yeah.
And he goes, no, he goes, but listen, I'll never step out on Joy again. I just had to get that one out of my system. I was on the Keisha plan. I got the one out of my system. I am not picking Julie over Joy. Never. Joy is my baby. She is my wife. That is my son. And sex with Joy was better anyway. Now, do you believe any of that?
I more cushion for the pushing. That's the only thing I could sum
Lord.
up. What?
No, I didn't mean that.
Oh, well.
Do you believe he's never going to do it again?
Oh God, no. He's going to do it. He's going to do it in New Mexico. He's going to do it in Missouri and do it in all the states in between when he's going to and fro. No, he's going to do it. Yeah.
All right. So Joy's just in the car doing what she usually does, is driving and crying, right?
Crying.
She's like, I'd rather have no company than fake company. But, my son, this is going to be so hard to explain to s5e. My son calls him dad. But, I grew up in such a, chaotic household, and I just want better for my child. I grew up with parents that were drinking and fighting, and I'm just so glad we didn't have this big fight in front of s5e. Well, there's time. There's time.
I mean, like, she doesn't want him to have she's trying to protect him from her past by bringing in almost the exact same thing.
Right.
Because we know Red likes to fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he's getting put in the hole.
Exactly. Yeah. Plus, he's a cheater on top of everything. He ain't got no job. Like, yeah, you're really, one-upping your parents, Joy. Way to go.
Yeah. In the words of Billie Eilish, you ain't got no job. All right. So it always comes around back to my queen, Billie Eilish. So finally he gets her on the phone and she's like, no, I'm not coming to get you, Red. This is crazy. And I have a son. And he goes, hey, I would never do any toxic shit in front of my son. That's my son.
Until he's not, when he's pissed off and sways, that ain't even my kid. You just know that's going to come up in an argument. That ain't even my son. You don't know who that boy's pappy is. You don't know. It's going to come up.
Know. Again, I think she does know.
I think she does too.
And he says, damn, that's the end of our 7-year relationship just because I left the room? Now, come on now. Now, come on, this is he needs to watch what he's saying because he hasn't denied anything yet, but now he's like fully lying.
Yes, he is. I think he's good at lying, and I think it's pretty easy to lie to Joy Nomi.
Well, that's a good point. Bless her heart. So he goes, we just met each other in person. Now, come on now, please. Now, come on back. I'm begging you. Come back and get me. Come back and get me. Now, come on now. And he's walking up and down the street. So then we see 8 hours later. He's still calling her. She's in a hotel room. And she's like, I don't know. Because I'm 5 hours away. And he just keeps calling me and begging me nonstop. And I love him. And it has been 7 years. And I don't want to just throw that away for nothing and give it up. What should I do? Oh, my God. And she's folding clothes. And so, of course, we know what she's going to do. Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I've already driven 5 hours, your ass going to have to fly to where I'm at. I'm not going back to pick you up because you were an asshole. No, I'm going to keep going home.
Can you imagine? She has driven for 5 hours. She has 5 hours in her brain, convinced herself for 5 hours. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. She gets in a hotel room, gets on the phone with him. It's like, well, he is the father of my son and we are married. So I guess I should go back.
I need to see the marriage certificate and the birth certificate to prove all of this because none of them are the truth. Like, stop. Bless her heart.
In the words of Red's mom, the pedophile. They ain't even married.
Now, she did preach, and what she was preaching was true, but she needs to worry about her own past.
She was funny until we found out about her.
I mean, we liked her. We were rooting for her, and then she just... I don't know. She got her police record and just wiped her ass with it and said, look at this, guys. She's like, why?
Yeah.
I don't get how she didn't think that was going to come out.
It's a show about her son being incarcerated. It's not about her. I mean, she was like full episodes. Let me show you around my house. Here's my office. Here's my other office. So we still don't understand about that. But like,
she doesn't realize that there's people like us in this world who we will do a background check on the side characters. Like, yes. Well, she learned.
Well, by the way, guys, all you got to do if you want to know about Red's mom is just go to Reddit and go to one of those Love After Lockup subreddits or whatever they call them. I was supposed to say Substack. That's something else. And just look up Red's mom. Or you could probably even just Google Red's mom with 2 Ds and it'll come up. You probably don't have to go all the way.
It's on the Pink Shade page. I posted it there.
True.
I got to tell you something. These last 2 episodes made me proud of my journalism because all of them got proven straight up true. I'm like, yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Right there. Yes. So it's on Pink Shade, y'all.
Yeah, you've always got the scoop. You've always got the scoop. This is why we pay you the big bucks here.
Right.
So now let's go, baby, to Brittney and Kerok. So,
jeez.
Kerok says, he is tired of continuously talking about this kid thing. And she's crying. And she's out there and she's like, I'm just worried, baby, that you're going to say one day you don't want a family and we're not a normal couple and we have to plan everything, baby. And
how about just start saving up the money for it?
Right. You're 23.
Yeah.
23. It's going to take you 10 years to save up the money. So,
easily 10 years. Yeah, let's just start with Kerok getting a job, medical insurance, all of those things.
All of those things.
Yeah.
So he's like, listen. He goes, that conversation with the doctor was spooky for me, right? So we see the conversation again with that. That doctor had a weird face.
Okay, stop right there because I was going to tell you something.
Okay.
So if you go on TikTok and you look up the young guy who had a face transplant, like a full one. Okay, I think he's like the first one.
Because they had like an accident or something and had to have a face transplant or something?
Yes. It's the same face as the doctor. Like I noticed it from the very first. It is the same, like not the man's face before, but the fake man's face after the transplant. It is the same face. It is the weirdest shit. Soon as I saw the doctor said, that's the face plant man right there.
Really?
They look just alike. Yes. You've got to look it up.
Maybe the doctor has a brother that died and donated his face.
Maybe. It looks so much like it's so similar. I would believe that. So you make sure when you look up this guy, he's got a pretty cute girlfriend too. So
I'm looking at face transplant.
Yeah, it's the same face. You're going to be shocked when you see it.
What was it about that doctor's face that I thought was weird? Is it like all his features were kind of in the middle or something?
Yeah, and then he's got steroid cheeks.
Like a puffy cheeks, but this doctor wasn't doing steroids. You mean like taking steroids like because you were sick or something like that?
Yes, and your cheeks I get them when I have to take a steroid pack and you just get a little
puffy.
Chunky. Yeah, that's what he looks like.
All right. So, all right, off of that. So he says the conversation with the doctor was spooky. He says because, we see again, he'd have to be, I'm sorry, this thing happens, Keisha, with the thumbs up. I don't know.
I don't know if you're doing the Heather Gay thumbs up and telling me fuck you. I don't know if you're telling me I'm doing a good job.
I just am talking and it thinks that I'm doing thumbs up, so it's giving you thumbs up. And I'm sorry. Again, many a podcast have been ruined by this because if something happens and we all just go, what happened? Matt told me a way to turn it off. I need to do that because it's so distracting. So anyway, we find out that he would have to be off his hormones for like 3 months and then like another 3 weeks of these egg stimulation drugs. And so it would probably be about a 6-month process where he'd have to fully go off this treatment that he's been on for a year. And I just don't think that's fair to ask him to do that.
I don't think I would do that. There's so many other options that are super expensive as well. And they need to go with one of those.
Right. So he says, we can't map out everything in life. Everything is not going to be exactly like we want it. And she was like, baby, we're different. We have to plan things. And he says, I got to get my life on track. I got to get a job. I was like, well, thank you. Thank you,
Kerok, for having a good plan because your girlfriend done lost her goddamn mind. She done quit school. Quit school to focus on her spirituality. And we've heard her pray just one time.
Yeah, she's focusing on taking care of Kerok or something. I was like, well, then when he gets a job, what are you going to do during the day?
She wants to be a housewife, but she doesn't have the husband who makes enough money to take care of it. Well, she has a husband with no job. So there goes the housewife right there. So.
And then she says, but do you ever want to have a child? And he goes, I don't know. I don't know right now. I'm not ruling it out, but I just don't know. And why don't we think about it when the time is right? The time is not right now. And she goes, but do you still want to get married? And he goes, absolutely. Absolutely. Stop tripping. Yeah. They're already engaged, right? Remember when we saw when he called her from prison and she was sitting by the Christmas tree and they got engaged? So,
but that was just the promise ring.
Oh.
It was a promise ring.
Because that comes up later in the next episode. And I was like, aren't they already engaged?
It was a very fancy promise ring.
Oh, that he was getting from his laundry money or whatever?
The laundry and sugar mama money.
Oh, and the sugar mama money. I forgot about the sugar mama. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So she says, you still want to get married? And he goes, absolutely. Stop tripping over there. Like, stop tripping. And she goes, but, baby, I have these dreams for the future and I be tripping because I don't want to lose that.
Brittney just thinks of shit to cry about. Like, crying is her brand. She's going to come out with a how to make yourself cry commercial or something like that. She just...
Yeah. And what's interesting too about her is that she went into prison with no tattoos, pretty young. She was 20. Now she's 23. No tattoos. So she got Anita on the top of her arm, which we think is her mom, but we don't know. Her mama doesn't speak to her. And then she got those 3 hearts on the side of her face. That's
she
what
wanted to be. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be about that thug life.
Well, she could have gotten like love, hate on her knuckles. That would have been better than that on the side of the face.
I can't think of anything that would make me get a tattoo on my face.
I can't either. I can't either. Unless it was like going to give some like $1 million for charity and I was going to be able to the next day start the removal process and I was going to be able to be knocked out for that process.
I don't even know if then. I don't know. Watch. Whenever they have a kid, she's going to get that kid's name tattooed on her left cheek. Watch.
Just right around the eyebrow. People love to do it right around the eyebrow.
Yeah. Poor Skylar's name's just on my back where it's always covered and no one sees it. I forget it's there.
Where is it on your back?
The upper back. I never see it, so I forget that it's there. But yeah, no face.
I have a tattoo on my back too. And my friend was like, why would you get it back there? You can't see it. I go, that's kind of the point. I kind of did it and then forgot about it.
I totally forget about it. Like when I'm counting my tattoos, I'm like, oh shit, forgot about that one back there that I have seen only once in my life.
God, I forgot it. It's my kid. My kid's name.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a Skylar with an AR or an ER. It's AR.
She is the original Southern spelling of the word. It is s5e11, like the Schuyler sisters.
Yes, SCH. Okay, yeah, that's like Scottish or something, maybe.
I think it's
British? Finnish.
Well, it's Finnish.
It's not American, I'll tell you that much.
Well, here's the funny part. Her middle name is British.
What is it?
It's British.
Her name is Skylar British?
Yes. I gave her the perfect superstar name, Skylar British.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that was a good idea. That's what a lot of people do. They name their kids names so that if they do need stage names, they can just.
She's got a stage, not a stripper stage name, but like
no.
Academy Award winning actress, Skylar British. There you go.
Billie Eilish's name is Billie Eilish Pirate Phineas Baird. No.
That is not her real name.
No. Billie Eilish Pirate something Baird. Like Finnegan Baird. It's a double. Oh, people are yelling. It's 4 names. Billie Eilish, Pirate. It's 5 names. Billie Eilish, Pirate, O'Connell, Baird.
What is there a story behind the pirate?
I don't know because her brother's name is Phineas O'Connell Baird. That's the parents' last names, O'Connell and Baird. Mm-hmm. So Phineas has got the one name, Phineas O'Connell Baird, and his stage name is just Phineas, all caps. Billie Eilish is Billie Eilish Pirate O'Connell Baird. I don't know why the pirate. I don't know why. I don't know.
As a super fan, I think you should know why one of her names is Pirate.
I know. I should look into that.
You should, most definitely. And report back to us, please, because we're all waiting to know. We want to know.
The O'Connell Baird, it took me a second to get there, but it's because her mom
It's
is
a hyphenated.
Maggie
Last name.
O'Connell, and the dad is something Baird.
I can get that. Yeah.
Once again, all comes back to Billie Eilish for me. Okay, Billie Eilish just did. She got some of those like teeth gems, like a diamond in your tooth or whatever.
I don't get that because it makes you always look like you have something like on your tooth or stuck in between your teeth. It looks like it's food.
I'm always, whenever I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. It seems like it's a little like a clip-on thing because it's kind of on the side of the tooth. So it's like she clipped it on and you can just see it on the sides of the teeth. It's like just like a gold thing. Listen, I can't explain
people
what the kids
with
are
money.
doing.
People with money. The things
she's
that they
got a
do.
lot of random tattoos like my daughter who's the same age does as well.
Skylar still has none. She has no tattoos.
Don't let her get started, girl.
I told her I was going to take her. She's like, nah. I'm like, all right, weirdo.
You're never going to get anywhere with that stage name and no tattoos. Come on now.
Come on now. Shit.
All right. Speaking of tattoos, let's go to Melissa and Louie. Okay. So there's a lot of this situation that I did not make a note about because I got up and walked away from my television and poured myself a drink. Like I started drinking at 9 o'clock at night because of this and I couldn't take it. And I was like, I'm going to have to make myself a drink because now I'm going to throw up.
Well, I needed a drink for the teeth pulling.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I will watch pimple popper, weight loss surgery all day long. But someone getting teeth pulled, there's just, I don't want to see that. No.
It was too much for me. In the words of my friend Mary, it's a lot for mommy. It was a lot for me. I couldn't. He's having all his teeth pulled out. He only has like 7 teeth for real.
I thought they were exaggerating until we saw the X-ray. I was like, God damn, he really did he has no back teeth at all. God bless his heart.
But I mean, he has the sense enough to kind of keep his lips closed and not show you,
Yeah.
So I just didn't look at all. I didn't look at all. And then they got to the end. He's like, oh, it feels weird. And they're like, all right, because you don't have any teeth. It took about 1 minute to pull all those teeth out. I was like, you guys, I was so, and it's not because his teeth were gross or rotten, which they were, but it's just
teeth
the whole
pulling.
Teeth pulling.
I don't want to say, I don't like the sound. I don't do it. None of that is appealing to me nor interesting to me. It's just something with teeth. Ugh, I don't know.
I'm not going to be able to eat dinner. Honestly, I'm not. So they put the teeth in and it is wild. These teeth look like when some of these housewives get new teeth and you're like, what happened to your face? They were so big. They were so big and so straight.
Yeah, they were.
And he's got a big overbite, so they definitely don't need to be that big because it makes the overbite look even more crazy.
Yeah, they kind of did my boy wrong a little bit, but he still got to get them adjusted.
They got to get a whole new set. That's way too big. Way too big.
I mean, they need to like shave off like. They just, I feel so bad.
The size of each tooth was too big, so just shaving them off of the bottom is not going to help. But they got to make each tooth just a millimeter smaller.
But here's the thing: it's like usually when they are going to make you a new tooth, they get the framework from the original teeth, but he didn't have any in there except for like 5. So they had to like guess what size they would be. I'm assuming. I don't know.
And we saw some pictures from him from like high school and back in his partying days and stuff. And his teeth that he did have at that time weren't like great. They were kind of crooked.
No, they were not. Yes, they were. Yeah.
So she goes, I understand they probably look too big, but you're going to have to come back twice to get them fitted. And by then the swelling will go down and we'll have a lot better idea of, what we want to do here. But this is what you're going to have for now. And then we come back twice to fix them. So on the way out the door, he's in a lot of pain. He has had all his original teeth ripped out and has been fitted for dentures. And he takes this opportunity to hit on this girl with the Pomeranian hair again.
That's player right there.
Do y'all watch the dog show on Thanksgiving after the Macy's Day Parade? We always watch the dog. Did you see the Pomeranian had that hair?
Yes. That's the same hairstyle. Bitch stole my look.
Oh, God. I saw that dog and I go, that looks just like a girl that was on one of my shows this weekend.
She's just, but she thinks it looks cute. And I'm sure she's not the only one walking around looking like that. I haven't personally seen anyone else walking around looking like that, but I'm sure there are.
It was wild. So, but in his talking head, when he's like, my worst nightmare is I'd get these teeth and it looked worse than what I had before. But in his talking head confessional, his teeth look pretty good. So obviously they fixed them.
Yeah. And I didn't think they looked that bad. I mean, I'd much rather talk to a person with teeth like that than a person with meth teeth. I'll put it that way.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true. But also his face is so skinny.
It's
you know
skinny.
What I mean? It's skinny. So to have those big teeth in there. So,
and I think some of his cheeks are like sunken in from the lack of teeth as well.
True.
So
probably fills his face out a little bit too. You're right.
Yeah.
So mom, they're in the car and mom's like, it's just going to, listen, they do look kind of crazy, but you know, they're going to have to get adjusted. It's going to take time, like they said. And he goes, I mean, I guess it's better than the 4.5 teeth I had before. And she's like, well, there you go. There's some positive thinking for you. Yeah.
Yep.
So then he gets home and he calls Melissa, who literally laughs in his face. Just savage.
She couldn't keep it together. She cannot keep it together to tell that poor man a lie and say
oh my God. He goes, everybody's reaction is the same. Okay. I get it. And she goes, no, hold on. She goes, let me look again. And she starts laughing again.
That second look was no better than the first look. Poor Lou. He's taking it like a champ though.
She's like, they're just a little big. They're just a little big. You need smaller ones. You need a smaller set. Yeah. And he goes, well, you're out here like treating me like a movie. And she goes, are you on drugs? Did they knock you out with anesthesia? What are you talking about? And he goes, but like pause, like you put me on pause like a movie. My real current reference there. And he goes, I'm in a bad mood. Now. You started my day off crazy. And she goes, why? Why did I? And he goes, because you said I was on pause and you just were not being nice to me. And she goes, you take nothing serious. You're like a fucking teenager, like a fucking teenager that lives with your mom. So he is talking head. He goes, I work 40 to 50 hours a week. I'm saving all my money and I know I'm heading in the right direction. Everybody thinks I'm doing the right thing except for her. And I don't understand. And to my reaction to all this is fake. This whole thing is fake.
Well, I'll put it, yes, we know that storyline has had a little fakery in it, but he is doing everything right. Like, he has a job. How many of these dudes immediately get a job? We have watched seasons go by and they have like 5 or 7 different jobs. He's got a job. He's making money. It's not the kind of job that she wants him to have. You know what I mean? He's got a car. He does have a place to live. He's keeping in contact with her. She just wakes up every morning wanting to be on Louie. She wants Louie from high school, not this Louie.
Right. Well, right.
And I think the old Louie would have treated her like shit. I think she's the type of girl that likes a guy to treat her a little bit like shit. I think she likes that.
Old Louie wouldn't look in her direction from the smoking parking lot.
No, he would not. Her and her little butterfly rubber band thingies that she had in her head. She kind of reminded me a little bit of Blossom. I don't know if you watched that show. She went her high school. She looked a little bit like Blossom, a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is all fake. I think that they like came up with this plan of we're going to fight about this. I'm going to pretend to put you on pause and that'll get us another season and all that. Right.
His feelings do look hurt though. He's doing a pretty good acting job.
Yeah. But I mean, again, we know they're together now.
They are.
It's just like, you know, we can't ever like be fooled or not know or, you know, it's like Amy Archer was saying this weekend over on our Hey Bunky episode. We're talking about like Kenny and Armando. Like, we don't actually know if Kenny and Armando do have a surrogate that's currently pregnant. Like, they don't tell you everything. It's not like everybody else on these shows. Like, we know Shekinah and Sarper are still together because they just have a Instagram account together where they're offering to do cameos together. Like, we know that they're still together. Yeah. And in this last episode, he's telling her to like pack her shit and get out. So we're like, you know,
we know at some point they get back together.
Right. It's still like stupid coming up next, Andy and Brittney, and they're posting together like, look at us, we're together.
Well, here's the interesting thing. And so you're right. We do know a lot of these couples are still together, but then like we have Mikey from Chelsea and Mikey. Someone did ask him on Instagram, are you guys still together? He's like, I'm not allowed to speak on that.
Right, because he doesn't want to lose his paycheck. He wants to follow the rules.
No, they don't care about that paycheck, and they keep getting a paycheck. So it kind of makes you wonder.
Yeah, I do want to know about Mikey and Chelsea.
What's in that contract?
I love them so much.
I love Mikey, not Chelsea so much. Well, we know in September they were together because they posted a picture together.
Oh, well, I don't know that because I don't do the journalism that you do. So thank you for your service.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Some of these people I have just recently started following. And then once you follow one, it'll pop up and say, you may also want to follow this one. I'm like, oh, well, shit.
I don't even
get
follow them.
Chevelle and Quaylon and let me.
I don't even follow them. They just pop up. I follow a few, but it just still gets on your feed anyway. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
How's Mikey looking? Mikey's looking good.
He looks great. He looks great. Come on, Mikey. And I did do a little research about the teardrop tattoo, and it doesn't always mean that you killed somebody. Sometimes it does mean you've been in prison a long time. Sometimes it does mean that somebody held you down and made you their bitch, and then they put that tattoo on you. That's what it means.
Look, we grew up in the 80s and 90s, and a teardrop tattoo on the face always meant you killed a person. Yeah. So
I'm waiting for him to give his explanation because he doesn't look like he could literally even like hurt a butterfly.
No, he doesn't. No.
Of course,
he's sweet.
We'll probably be disappointed.
Oh, he just bought a new car. He's doing pretty good.
Oh, good for Mikey.
He did, okay. Yeah.
The holiday season is around the corner, and with it comes gift giving, lots of great food, and of course, the dreaded holiday pictures. Nothing is worse than when you take a picture and you think, all right, that was fine, and you get it back. In the old school days, like drive through and get it back from the hour photo processing. But I mean, now these days you look at your phone and you go, oh, everybody looks good but me, but I guess I'll just have to go with it. We can't control all aspects of the holidays, but we can make sure you feel confident and camera ready for your photos. That's why I'm excited that we're partnering with Apostrophe. Apostrophe's goal is to help you feel confident in your own skin, whether you're dealing with breakouts, signs of aging, that's me, or acne scarring. Apostrophe is going to help you love the skin you're in. They're an online platform that connects you to an expert dermatology team to get customized treatment for your skin. You can get access to oral and topical medications that are clinically proven ingredients to help. You're going to fill out the online consultation. You guys, I love an online consultation. This one was fun. And then you snap a few selfies. They tell you exactly what to do. And a dermatology provider is going to create a customized treatment plan just for you. They're offering access to prescription treatments for all types of acne. You could have hormonal acne, facial acne, back acne, chest acne, butt acne, all of it, head to toe. So it doesn't matter what your skincare goals are. Mine is to reduce some of these aging spots and, of course, get rid of my wrinkles and skin texture and all that. Get rid of course, is not possible because I am 55 years old. But I loved when I got my personalized experience from Apostrophe. I unboxed it. It had these cute stickers in it. One of them I stuck on my mirror in my bathroom for some, inspiration because I'm that kind of girl. We have a great deal for our audience. You're going to get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/pinkshade when you use our code pinkshade. That's a savings of $15. It's normally $20. With our code, it's $5. This code is available only to our listeners. So you're going to go to apostrophe.com/pinkshade, click get started, and then use our code pinkshade at the sign up, and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring our episode. All right, let's go on to your favorite couple, Andy and Brittney. So now we see Brittney, and she's driving around. She's in Ellijay, which is, I guess, the town that she's from, where they know her by the back of her head. Right. And she says, it's been a few months since I last saw Andy. I washed my hands of him. I was staying with my family, and, I was spiraling. I was. And so, of course, what I do when I spiral, I went and picked up and got some meth. And I got meth for about 7 to 10 days, and that's all that I had. Then I ran out, and I felt real fucked up. Yeah. So I didn't talk to anybody or answer the phone, which is what I do. This is how I deal with my failures and my shortcomings. I run to drugs, and then I ghost everybody. Okay, great. So you're just further traumatizing your kids.
But it's Andy's fault.
It's Andy's fault.
But it's Andy's fault because he made her do all those things. I mean, the only thing he did was supply her with the money that she was supposed to be using for her kids, which we knew that was a fucking lie anyway.
And she's mad that he didn't give her the title to the car so she could drive to the drug dealer herself in her own car.
Yes, so.
So she says, when I came out of prison, I felt confident and I had goals and I should have never involved Andy. I should have never involved him. But, the reality of my life and my kids' life is it's a struggle every day. But, I just went and did my drug test so I can get my visitation with my kids. And I'm trying to put my kids first. And I can't say that I always put my kids first because obviously I don't. But my goal is to put my kids first. I was like, all right, this is the first word of honesty we've heard from her.
Ever. Period. Point blank. Yes. She admitted that she used, which none of us were surprised by. And she admitted that she was a shit parent too.
And that she knows that she was, because this whole time with Andy, she's like, I put my kids first, and you got to understand about my kids and my kids and my kids. And you could tell the whole time she was just dying to get out there.
Lying. Yeah, she just wanted to go hit a meth pipe or however you smoke meth. I don't know.
I do believe you smoke meth with a pipe, Keisha, but
you do?
I don't really know, actually. What do you do with the tinfoil and the heating it up on the bottom? Is that the crack?
I think that's heroin, crack, and maybe meth.
Maybe meth. I watched Breaking Bad, but I can't remember.
Yeah, let me call one of my friends who does meth and ask them how they do.
I'll be right back. But I am glad that she was honest here and was like, I haven't put my kids first, and I need to. My goal is to put them first. My goal is to be able to see them without a court-appointed attorney kind of a thing. So now we see Andy. He's going fishing with Barry. We missed Barry. I'm glad to see him. Barry, 17, Allie, 25.
Copy and paste. And paste.
Yeah,
Andy said copy,
sister,
paste.
Right?
Yeah, she doesn't look just like Andy like the other two do. It is like the same face 3 times. Because
Destiny's got like blonder hair, I feel like, right?
She did. And she seemed almost petite in a way. She was very small.
Okay. So he goes to look at them fishing or whatever, and he goes, last time I even thought about going fishing was that time I was with Brittney and I was going to take her out fishing, and she and I, we've texted, we've been in touch, but I ain't seen her since the day I left her at that dumpster, and I love it out here at this fishing pond. It's nice and peaceful. And Allie says, how long has it been since you came out here to the fishing pond? He goes, I don't know, shit, it's been like 20 years. And she goes, oh, yeah, before you were messing with the crazy bitches. I was like, that's the savage daughter right there. Yeah.
Both of them are savage. And here's Destiny's worse than Allie.
That's why
she kept her foot on his neck that whole episode.
So wait a second. So if Andy is 44 and Allie is 25, that means he had her at 19.
Oh, right? That's pretty young.
Yeah, it's pretty young.
Yeah.
So, all right, I did like when Allie said that. That was before you was messing with crazy bitches. So what really happened with old Brittney? And he goes, Brittney and I, we never got on the same page. And right when she got out, she started asking me about money in a car. And she thought I was jerking her around about the money, but I had fraud. On my account.
Are we still doing this, Andy? No one believes you.
And also, why are you telling us? Like, we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And so the producer asked him, now go ahead and tell us now. She's not around anymore. So go ahead and tell us. Was it really fraud or you got like a gambling problem? And he goes, I absolutely have never had a gambling problem. It was fraud. I just didn't get a chance to walk into the bank. The minute I walked into that bank, they said, yes, sir. And before I even stepped foot out of that bank, they had refunded all my money. So, yeah, it was fraud.
He acts like this. We know he was a shitty parent. He abandoned his children. We know he's a liar. He's acting like this gambling thing is the worst thing that we've heard about him. No, yeah. It goes along with everything else that you've done. We don't care. The only person who really cares is you.
He's so, it's so wild. So Allie goes, well, I hate to tell you, we told you so, but we told you so.
Yeah.
And he goes, I know you did, but I just thought I knew her better. Now, back to Brittney. She goes to meet with her friend Jennifer. She goes, Jennifer is my bestie. We used to use together. We were in jail together, and now we're sober together.
You bitches look like y'all might be 24 hours sober because they did sober.
Jennifer was hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, she needed a meeting right after this scene because, yeah.
So she says she's going to shop for a care package for Gracie, who's in college. To which I say, thank you, God, Gracie has gone to college. She has gotten away from Ella J. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's paying for it? Maybe the dad of these kids is really a great guy and
or
really
student loans and grants and all that. So
or hopefully that she's not having to do all that. But at least I'm glad that Gracie is trying to break out, and good for her.
There's probably a grant there if one of your parents is a meth head and went to prison. They have grants for everything. Like she legit gotten one like that.
You're exactly right. That's a great point. So then she talks to Jen about how she relapsed. And Jen's like, what happened with that? And she goes, I just don't know. I just got out and then I was with Andy and everything. And you know, everything Andy told me was a lie. And look at this. And what she shows her, which we didn't realize last week, she's showing her phone. And she goes, his wife contacted me on Facebook. Can you believe that? And then we see the photo of her on Facebook because I guess that Brittney tagged Andy as her boyfriend on Facebook, which then changed it on Andy's account. I didn't know that if my husband were to have Facebook, of which he has no social media, and I tagged him as he has 0 social media.
And you know what? People that don't have social media think they're better than the rest of us.
Of course he does.
They really do.
And then I remind him that he has a Samsung phone and fucks up all our family texts. So,
no, he's in the green. And everyone else is the blue.
Yeah. We send pictures and they come across like the size of your pinky nail. Nobody can see that picture that you sent because of your phone. We've been talking about this, 20 years. So
they don't give up on it. They don't give up on those Androids. It's like they want to take that Android.
He's doubled down
to the day they die. Yeah.
Double down.
They don't want to convert.
Recently had an opportunity to get a new phone and was going to come home and surprise the family with an iPhone.
And then
he realized he wasn't going to be able to save all his text messages and stuff. And so he goes, I got some stuff on there about like when we go to Europe and the soccer game that we're going to see and stuff. So I couldn't change phones. I go, you could have screenshot it and just emailed it to yourself.
That's what I was thinking. It just doesn't want to convert.
Or texted it to me or something. He was like, I was like, that was an excuse.
Yes, it was. It was.
Anyway, I didn't know that if James tags you as his wife on Facebook, that then on your Facebook, it changes it to in a relationship with him.
Yeah, because one time James made me really, really mad and I unmarried him.
Oh,
and
okay.
it changed. Yeah. It was I blocked him. Look, I blocked him on my phone, on social media, and we still shared a bed.
You showed him he wasn't going to be able to look at your funny memes.
He couldn't take the fact that it like changed the status on there. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
I know how to stick it to him.
Yeah, so I guess that's what happens. But so I guess when she changed her status to being in a relationship with him, it pinged on his account, and his wife saw it. And
but he had to accept that though. Because
to accept it.
Yeah.
Or I could just say, I'm in a relationship with,
and that's all it says. Yeah. Brad Pitt.
DiCaprio. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay. So anyway, he accepted it. And then the wife contacted her on Facebook. And we'll see more about that in the next episode.
And we read those on Pink Shade episode. We read some of those text messages. It was a while back.
It was like, I'll see you later. Like that sex was good or what? Like that? Yeah.
It was, anything with Andy and sex, it just no thanks. But yeah, they were flirting and talking, and ex-wife got real pissed off.
Yeah, ex-wife or wife or however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's move on to a really sad story, which is Sharae and Anthony. So.
Yeah.
This is, I would like to give a trigger warning here. This is a trigger warning. This specific part of the story is going to contain descriptions of domestic violence. So just skip over it if that is triggering for you. So this is heartbreaking. She's on the phone with Sharice. She calls Sharice mom, which is weird. And she's like, hey, mom, I'm ready whenever you want to come over and get this box of Anthony's stuff. She tells us that she and Anthony got in a fight because she had a gut feeling he was talking to other women because he didn't go on the Keisha plan. So she went through his phone and found out some chick he was messaging with, like, I want to go on a date with you. I can't wait to see you, that kind of thing. And it sounds like jail talk, right? And they argued about it and it escalated. He tried to take her phone. So I guess he was trying to like, well, let me look at your phone, I guess.
Right.
She says, which was a real bitch move, real coward to try to take my phone. I was like, well, you took his phone, so whatever. So he didn't realize how strong she was. He couldn't get it from her, Which I was like,
fucking
yes,
funny.
girl. That was funny. And she was like, he didn't know he wasn't going to be able to pry this phone out of my cold dead hands. Like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
So it bothered him because he couldn't get it from her because she was too strong. So in order to get the phone released from her hand, he bit her in the back.
If that is not some stripper kind of fighting, I don't know what stripper fighting is. That is the kind of shit when the girl strippers in the back get into a fight, they bite each other and shit. That's the kind of shit you see on Zeus Network. Bitches biting each other in a fight. Like, what guy does that?
She again said that was a real bitch move.
It was a very bitch move.
She calls him a bitch a couple of times, which, I love it when Renika calls Asante a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a total bitch. A man biting a woman over a goddamn phone. Really?
Bit her in the back.
Yeah. Well, the most surprising thing is the fact that Anthony and his lackluster personality was even talking to another woman because he's so just...
zoned out.
He really is.
Zoned out. She said Richie was not there. Her son was not there. Thank God.
Thank God.
She would want him to see. The cops came, and it was considered a domestic violence call, but she elected not to press charges on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, him biting me was a bitch move, but I'm not going to be responsible for sending him back to prison. I don't want that on my head, so I just asked him, to move out. So,
well, remember we talked about the ex-girlfriend who he went to jail for choking her. Mm-hmm. So this
was recently, or it was before that he went to prison this current time?
It was before. It was in 2014, and then he went to prison in 2015.
Yeah, because he was in for 6 years. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a pattern. So Sharice comes over, okay? And she said, I'm just sad. I'm sad. And Sharae says, I'm sad too. She said, but the way he played it, trying to tell me that these women are just his friends. I mean, no. And Sharice says, he's a fucking man. This is her son now. She said, he's a fucking man and ain't no man supposed to whoop up on a woman. So therefore, I'm not mad at you. You have to do what you have to do. He needs to grow the fuck up. You can't use your second head as your first head. You need to have some integrity and some principles. And I've signed him up for anger management. So
we're not used to seeing a mom get on her son's ass. Usually they're like, oh, that's my baby.
Yeah, right.
No, because Sharice came in with her eyebrows done, her wig looked good, her eyelashes look good, but yet the mustache remains.
She's attached to it. She don't want to let it go.
I think some women think that's attractive. Clearly, she's one of them.
I just think you don't see it. I just think you just don't see it. I just think you don't see I think you just like that's part of you just don't see it. You just don't see it. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you look at yourself enough that maybe you don't realize like you got a big sunspot on the side of your face like I do or something.
Okay, but I would notice that I had a full mustache though.
It's not a full mustache. I've seen some people with ladies with like a full on mustache. But hers is, I don't know. She
noticeable.
All right. Listen, we're Team Sharice at this point. We got to be nice.
Yeah, we love her. We love her. I just don't love that mustache.
I know. And Bunky did point out that because of the bad editing we've had this whole damn season, that there was a scene where Sharice had a full mustache and another scene where she's like in the middle of the same sentence and no mustache.
They did really bad with that party scene. That was fucked up. Like that whole party thing was just, the editing was horrible.
Yeah, horrible. I don't know what was going on this season.
I don't know.
I'm never going to get to talk to Matt Sharp to find out because I don't think he's ever going to respond to my request for an interview. So, Matt Sharp, hear my prayers.
Maybe we can all send him an email and tell him he should talk to you. Then he'll really think you're fucking crazy. Yeah,
I mean, he met me in person and said he would, but I should have never believed him. All right, so in her talking head, Sharice says, Sharae will not tolerate this physical and mental abuse. And there's some women that will allow any motherfucker to just do anything just to say they have a man. And, I'm proud of her. She's standing up and she's not allowing this. And it's because she's learned from what she's been through. And that's great. And he needs to understand that she's not going to keep going through the same thing. So, of course, she had to leave him. I mean, Sharice is completely on Sharae's side, which is great.
Yes.
So she says to Sharae, she goes, you need to do what you need to do for yourself. And then Sharae goes, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm going to need that key back. I don't need your Anthony popping up over here. So
I don't blame her at all. No.
She says, I'm not mad at you. And she gives it back. So in her talking head, Sharae says, I deserve an honest man, a loyal man, and someone who's going to be supportive and give stability to me and my child. And then
Right.
she looks down and she says, I'm not going to take off my ring. I'm going to have faith in God, that God is going to change his heart and heal my heart. And I hope to be with the new version of Anthony. But right now, we just can't be together. And then she's just really crying.
Yeah.
And the producer's like, are you okay? And she's like, no.
No.
It's really sad.
Well, you know, when she was crying in the restroom and she pulled the bottom lids down, I haven't seen someone cry like that since kindergarten. But she pulls them down like this. You didn't see that where you can see?
I saw it, but
that's how babies, little kids cry like that.
Because they just pull it on their face?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, and just pulling your face in.
Yes.
You're so despondent. You start clawing at your own face.
Yes.
That's what we need to do in our mugshot pictures. We need to just do like
oh, yeah, we do. Yeah. But here's a case that we know they did get back together.
But currently together or no?
He's in jail, but she was just on Instagram the other day talking about that's her man, that's her baby. She's not giving up on him. And I love it because someone goes, isn't he in jail? And she goes, yes.
It's called Love After Lockup. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's still in jail. I wish I could find details on like what's really going on with that case. Like, is he having to do the rest of his time that he had, or because these are drug charges,
right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now let's move on to Chelsea and Mikey. So he's going to visit her in Ohio. He's talking about leaving Hadley and how Hadley has detachment issues since he went to prison. Now I was trying to think about that. Are we trying to say, is detachment issues the proper term to be using here?
I think it's abandonment issues.
I think he's trying to say abandonment because I was like, was he trying to say attachment? But that wouldn't make sense. I think he's trying to say, detachment makes sense because they were detached.
Yes,
he was in prison.
Yes. But I think he meant abandonment.
Abandonment, yeah.
But he didn't know how to sign it, so he just came up with another fucking word altogether that he could possibly sign.
Yeah, yeah. So he gets to Chelsea's house, and they're so happy to see each other. It's really cute. And
that house, oh my God, that house. Oh my gosh. Chelsea.
It's cluttered, you mean?
There was a lot of things going on. It was cluttered. I want to say there was a TV mounted above a fish tank. Uh-huh. You had the one kid's room that had a wall, but it was just like the gutted down part of the wall. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You had Chelsea with like all the body sprays and all of that shit. Uh-huh. You had the sick kid in the bed with a power cord. Uh-huh. It was a lot, and none of the furniture quite matched. She's a housekeeper. That's her profession.
It is? I didn't know that.
She's at the hotel or motel or whatever. Yeah, she's housekeeping.
That's right. She has that other friend that's deaf, and then they sign while they're trying to clean. Yes. I forgot about that.
Her house looked like she was a professional hoarder.
Well, it was clean. It just was a lot of stuff.
It was clean but messy.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, they're happy to see each other, and but his house is the same, so it didn't bother him at all.
It was nothing. No, at least hers it was more light. His looks like they have one lamp on in the house.
That's right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So she shows him the house. It was like there's a lot of work to be done around the house, but she's like, I wanted it to look nice for him, but the kids are going to be home soon. So the kids arrive home, and I don't know if you noticed this because I've watched it twice. On the second time around, I noticed it again. Okay. And before the kids come home, they're doing like a split screen. And they have like spy music playing, like dun 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 dun. I was like,
I didn't notice that.
Like, why are we playing spy music right before the kids get home? And they're doing like split screen, like one's going up and one's going down. I was like, the kids are just coming home. I didn't notice that at all. It was like they were going to catch them doing something, and they were like trying to show the split screen. And when the kids were walking in the door and they were doing something in the house, they shouldn't have been, but they weren't. It was weird.
That's weird.
So the kids come in, and it's Trevor, 11, who we know already, and we got Corey, 15, Audrey, 14. And you want to talk about copy and paste. Corey and Audrey look exactly like her.
Yes, exactly. They do. Big time. Yeah.
Same
especially
nose,
the girl.
Everything.
Yep.
Yes. Just like her. They're cute kids, though, and they seem to have good manners.
Good manners.
Yeah, all that. So Chelsea, when they walk in, she's sitting in the chair eating something. She doesn't even get up. She's like, "This is Mikey. Introduce yourselves. I'm busy." But she's eating something in a tin, and tin, a tin, and then they order some food, and it
Right.
arrives, and that's all in styrofoam. So I was like, "What? Is everybody starving? Like, what's going on?" So they all sit down to eat.
After school snack.
I guess so, of fried chicken. So Trevor says, "Are you going to move here?" And he goes, I don't know if I'm planning to move here right now. This is just a visit." And he explains, like,
Right.
I'm on parole. I have to follow these certain travel rules about traveling. And outside, Audrey says, "We have a lot of guys who have moved into this house."
I know. That's awful.
And
That's
she goes,
bad.
a lot of guys have moved in here and yelled at us. So we
You
want to
should
wait a
not
little bit.
move every man that you're dating in the
Mm-mm.
house, especially when you have kids, and especially
I
one of
know.
them's a girl.
I know. And he says, she needs to wait a little bit before deciding to move him in. So they're probably happy that he's in, freaking Kentucky.
Another
so
state.
He can't,
Yeah.
so they have to take it slow. So Chelsea looks outside and there's a cop car. And she was like, "Oh, it's probably him," and points to Corey. And then, we find out that he's been in a little bit of trouble with the law. He's only 15.
Yeah.
And Mikey asked him about it. And Mikey goes, "Listen, man, I'll just give you this little bit of advice. Like, you really got to think things through before you do them, because if you're impulsive, you end up like me. You end up in jail and stuff."
Right.
Also, being a meth head doesn't help. And we've steal cars, also bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now Chelsea's friend Beth arrives, and the one that you make fun of because she just makes up signs as she goes.
She did a little bit better this episode. Like, she was a little bit more believable. She used more than just two fingers this time. Usually it's just two fingers up and down, left and right, all of it in a circle. But this time she actually did use all of her fingers. So I don't know. Maybe she's taking the same classes that Mikey's taking or something, but she did a lot better. Yeah.
Mikey's doing great with the sign language, by the way.
Is.
So they sit down to talk, and Corey comes down. It's like, "Mom, I need you to come upstairs and help me with something. I've got 6 power strips I need to hook up next to my bed." Because later on, I was like, "How many plugs does he have next to his bed?"
And that shit's a fire hazard right there.
Doesn't look up to code. Doesn't look
Not
up to
at all.
code. So, of course, it's just so Beth and Mikey can talk, and
Right.
Beth tells Mikey, "Listen, I'll be honest, I didn't really even think this was a real thing, and we didn't initially believe that you had a stroke. Like, we thought that was bullshit." And
None of us believed it.
No. And, of course, he's like, "I saw it on TV. I know." And he says, "I understand, and I could get why you would worry and stuff about me, but, I'm here." And Beth says, she's been through a lot. That's why we're always trying to make sure she's okay. And you know what she's been through. And then she says, "Do you have a history of drug use?" And he says, "Yeah, I did. I was doing meth like every day before I went to prison. And that going to prison really saved me from becoming an addict." I was like, I think if you're doing it every day, you were probably an addict.
Yeah.
But he says, "I have no intention of going back to that place. I'm blessed with a different mindset now. Going to prison really saved me." And then Corey and Chelsea come down, and then Trevor's like, "Do you want to see our rooms?" They take Mikey to show in their rooms. Now, this is when I'm thinking, like, okay, because you see the outside of the house.
Yeah.
Assuming it's that. Sometimes they show a different house, but I don't think in this case.
Not in this case.
I think upstairs was probably one actual room and the rest was attic. And I think she divided the attic into 2 bedrooms for the kids because it's just like open. You know what I mean? It's just.
It was a lot going on.
And then the 2 kids, like, it's just like you go up the stairs and the rooms are on each side.
Yeah.
You have to walk through to get to one to the other.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't really need a house tour of this house.
I know, but listen, she's doing her best. She's got 3 kids.
She
They all
is.
have their own room.
That's true. That's true.
One of them is living in a fire trap, but that's all right.
It was just too messy.
It's a lot of stuff. They've got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
So now Chelsea and Beth are talking in the kitchen and talking about how, she really likes him. She thinks he's really cute. He says he is. And she goes, "But he's concerned and keeps asking me where I get my money." And Beth goes, why? And she goes, I don't know. Like, it's weird that he keeps asking me about my money. And Beth says, you should just tell him you're selling pictures of your asshole on OnlyFans.
I mean, that's what I would tell producer James if I got an extra $5,000. It's like, I got a lot of subscribers on OnlyFans. But here's the thing. She's so bent out of shape about him asking about the money, which he was there when all of her food stamps and all that stuff got cut off. And then all of a sudden she's got $5,000. If you didn't want him to know, don't tell him that you have the extra $5,000.
And don't just be like, I'm not going to be able to afford food for my kids or pay for my bills when you got the $5,000 in the bank. Because you've got a cushion until you can pull it together. Yeah.
She never had to tell him about the $5,000. There was no reason for her to.
Right.
Yeah, she's odd.
So in the talking head, the producer asked her, and she goes, I'm not telling him where I got my money, and I'm not telling you where I got my money. And producer's like, what'd I do to you?
Okay. She's so nasty and so rude. And I will forever not understand why Matt Sharp mics her up. She still has a mic on.
Keisha. That's going to go in the top 5 worst things you've ever said.
No! Like, why is there a reason to put a mic on her? I mean, let's just break it down. There's no reason.
But I mean, yes, there is, because she moves around. You got to hear the movements. And sometimes she does sometimes try to speak. When she feels comfortable with someone, she does use her voice.
Not in her interview scenes.
All right.
And they have her mic'd up. And I'm tired of that little lace red dress thing that she has on. Like, the titty. It's supposed to make you, it's supposed to make you think it's see-through, but it's obviously got some sort of illusion under it. Or you'd be able to see full nipple. Yeah. I don't like it.
I liked it at first, but I'm tired of seeing it now too.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she tells the production, I'm not telling him where I got my money, and I'm not telling you where I got my money. Whenever I tell anybody about my money, it causes problems, and people have always tried to steal from me. So I'm not going to tell anybody.
Then don't tell them about your money.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them. So now it's the next morning, and she's sort of walking around looking at medications and stuff. And Mikey says, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. You know, everything on this trip has gone wrong, and now the kids are sick. And he says that he'd set up this first date for them to go horseback riding. He wanted to do something romantic with her. And he goes, the kids are going to be in bed all day because they're sick. And you could call Gio if they need anything. Like, I'd planned this romantic horse riding thing. And so she's like, oh my gosh, no one's ever really taken me on a date. But then she's like, oh, people have asked me to do. I was like, you have been on dates.
For dates. Maybe. Like, going to a concert is a date.
Going to dinner
she says
is a
something
date.
else. I'm like, Chelsea's just so Chelsea.
But I think she means like somebody to do something like super romantic for her, like to do this horse, like do something she wants to do or whatever. Anyway, she's excited. So she goes and tells the kids, you know, this is what's going on, and you're sick, stay in the bed, and the 15-year-old's in charge. And if you need, the 15-year-old felon's in charge. So if you need anything, call Gio. And then she explains that Gio's like her best friend that she's known since school. So they're riding in the car, and she's signing and driving and
as
calling
always
on her phone. And he's like, be careful. Like, you're driving all crazy.
He did. He's like, I could have drove if this was the case. If you had to do all these other things, I could have drove.
So she shows him her phone and says, I've got this thing that Corey is supposed to be at court for a probation meeting, but I never got a letter. I never got a letter. And they go to the courthouse, and he sits in the car, and he's basically like, I'm never getting laid. It's never going to happen. You know, something always happens. But here's my question. I think finally I may have figured out the difference between parole and probation, even though it has been explained to me 1,000 times.
Okay, go.
Because he said he's on parole, which means he has to be on parole for the amount of time left in his sentence.
Right.
So he was in prison for 4 years. So let's say his sentence was 7. So that means he has to be on parole for 3 because he got out after 4.
Until he finished. Okay.
So I think that's what he's trying to say is like, if you get out early, you're on parole for the rest of the time. And then if you violate your parole, you got to go back and finish out your sentence.
Okay. That makes sense.
Probation is like what Corey's going to be on because he did something wrong. And now he's on probation to prove he only has to be on probation for a certain amount of time. And then they take you off probation and then like take it off your record or whatever.
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
I think parole has to do with if you get out early. If your sentence is 10 years and you, like in the case of Red, he's probably not on papers, and that's why he can
Because
go.
all of his time.
He served all of his time because he kept beating people up in prison.
Yeah. Dumbass. But yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I may have figured it out.
I think you're right. We're going to go with you are most definitely right.
Oh, for sure. Okay, everybody, this is the end of part 1. So head on over, just click the next episode, and that will be part 2, which will be the finale, which will be season 5, episode 12, Onion of Lies, which is the worst name ever. All right, Keisha, I'll see you in a minute.
All righty.
Not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.